I want to check out where the water is being diverted, walking into an alleyway and seeing some spooky stuff.
Horrible birdmen.
Yes, they're like spooky birdmen.
As you are entering this sort of like tunneled out area, you hear this like horrible kind of like song. It's like kind of gut wrenching, and it makes you feel uneasy. So I'll actually need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw. Your mind begins to swim, and you get like super disoriented. Yeah. So currently, because you can't focus, you are unable to use a dash action. You cannot climb, and you cannot cast spells other than cantrips.
Who was affected by that? Sorry?
Arrow.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so these things are sort of wailing out. You see 3 of them, these like long, almost skeletal, like how like skinny they are. But they have these long crow heads and these long talons, and they almost like humanoid-like bodies, but they're kind of hunched over. It looks like they had been in cages and then sort of like ripped through them.
Well, howdy, partners. It looks like you're free from your cage. Who was imprisoning you?
Does anybody else hear that? My head hurts.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'd be in front if I'm saying howdy, partners.
You see these things lumbering towards Wyatt Arrow.
I'm guessing they don't acknowledge that I am trying to speak with them.
Wyatt, I don't think that thing's friendly.
Well, they seemed like prisoners. I mean, I know what it's like to be a prisoner, to be in trouble and trying to fight your way out of a prisoner sort of situation. So maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. How can we help you, fellas?
I think they might have more so been weapons that were sheathed until needed.
They have 2 arms, 2 legs. Well, kind of arms, I guess. And legs. That ain't no weapon I've ever seen.
Since I'm in initiative, can I attack?
Yep.
I'm going to throw my sword at the one that's closest to us.
Okay.
They are not acknowledging me whatsoever, I'm guessing.
No.
Cool.
But also, I usually make monsters go on their turn. That hits.
I'm going to use extra attack, too.
Okay. Yep, that hits. Yeah, so this thing looks bloodied as, like, you slash at this thing and a couple times, and feathers kind of fly everywhere. It's got these 2 huge gashes in its side.
Is Arrow within 5 feet of an ally?
Yes.
Did you include sneak attack damage?
Nope. Hold on. It's another 18 damage with the sneak attack on it.
How do you want to kill it?
I guess I'll just throw my sword through its head and then recall it back into my hand.
Yeah, so it goes through this thing's head, and then it goes to like bite at you with its mouth, and then you pull your sword back through its head again, and then it falls on the ground in a heap of feathers and blood.
Well, try and use that as a weapon now. Show me how that's a weapon. Thanks. Abby.
I don't know, whatever sound these things are making is really giving me a headache.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, you can make me another wisdom save. You don't feel sick anymore after this thing kind of dies. Seems like you were kind of queasy from the sound this one was making.
Actually, I feel better now. I feel like I can dash and climb again.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're feeling better.
It is Shazeno's turn.
Should we be concerned with how easy that was? Are these actually aggressive?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you were in initiative because they were coming at you with what seemed like ill intent.
Compliments? They were coming at us with compliments, maybe?
Well, it was definitely making a sound that was hurting me.
Yeah, if they're coming at us, then Arrow, why don't you hit him again? I'm going to use Might on Arrow. It lets her use her reaction to attack again with advantage, and she adds 4 damage to their damage if she hits.
That hits. Are you going for the left or the right one?
Left.
This thing, you hack this thing up pretty good, and it's on like its knees right now, and it's bloody. Then it is Wyatt's turn.
I'm trying to figure out if these things are intelligent, so I'm gonna hold until their turn. Hold my turn until they do something, if they have the chance to.
So you're pulling out of initiative?
No, can I just like, if they attack me, I'll attack them back. Can I do that?
You're doing
Hold action.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've been talking to them this whole time, so I'll continue to talk to them.
Right, but I mean, what is your action that you're going to do?
If they physically attack anybody in my party, then I'm going to attack them with crossbows.
Okay.
Real quick, I forgot to have Kadama do his thing. Do you mind if I do that?
Sure.
Yeah, he's just going to peck at him.
That hits.
Well, it's 1 damage.
Yeah, this thing's still alive. Okay, so then now it is Abby's turn.
I'm going to cast Melf's Minute Meteors. So I have 6 little, like, Zenyatta meteors floating around me. And I can throw them right away, but I'm not I'm just going to wait for things to pop off, but I'm just getting ready in case.
Okay, then it is this one's turn. Arrow, the one that's on its knees, kind of sort of lunges up towards you with its 2 claws, and it lands 2 claw attacks on you. Then the next...
See, I told you these things were
I mean, we did just kill one of them, to be fair.
It was hurting me before I did that.
So you say.
Wait, don't I get my reaction if it attacked?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So I am going to, let me see, I'm going to attack.
That hits. How do you want to kill this one?
I'll shoot it through the center of its head and I'll say, "You were a jerk, sir," or "ma'am." I don't like how you hurt my friend.
Yeah, so then as it lunges at Arrow and slashes her, then like an arrow goes in its head and it kind of flattens like a little pancake on the ground.
Beautiful.
Like a pancake? Does it deflate?
A little bit. It seemed like they were like kind of puffed up when they were coming at you.
Oh, like a bird?
Yeah, because that's basically what they're.
Yeah. Can I hit the other ones with my extra attacks?
Yep.
Okay, that is a nat 20. And if it's not dead, I'll go for it again.
It is not dead. You land an arrow in its shoulder. That hits. Okay. So you landed kind of in its other shoulder. This thing looks bloodied. So this one was going to go after Arrow, but now it's going after Wyatt.
Nope.
Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
This thing kind of like runs after you and swipes you across the face.
Lame.
Then it is Roxanne's turn. Unless, Abby, were you holding an action?
I wasn't holding an action. I was just waiting until it was my turn again. I just didn't want to attack these things right away if they did end up talking.
Okay. Yeah, she's just going to whack it with her staff, the staff part of her spear, I guess. That hits. It is Arrow's turn again. Make me a wisdom saving throw.
It's a nat 1.
Yeah, you feel sick again as you kind of hear this thing bellowing out.
I'm gonna throw my sword at it and be like, shut up.
That hits. How do you want to kill it?
I guess I'll just stab it in the face.
Are you going to recall your thing first and then stab it, or?
I was throwing the sword at it, so
Right.
just like throwing it into his head, like between the eyes.
It lets out like one last sort of like bellow, falls to the ground. You are out of initiative.
God, what an awful sound these things make.
Or anything.
Can I do an investigation check on the bodies?
Sure. What are you trying to find out?
If they're like affected with something, because I don't know, maybe there are nice ones of what these things are. They seem pretty weak. Just kind of curious about like what was wrong with them.
Make me either a medicine check or a nature check.
Nature check.
These don't look like anything that you've really seen before, but based on like their eyes, you can tell that they're used to sort of looking around in like the like complete darkness. They have like a kind of like a shininess to them.
I would like to investigate the cages to see if I can find any evidence of who might have caged them or been controlling them.
I'm going to say you don't really need to roll for that. All around this like cave room where these cages are, there's a whole bunch of boxes of that tattoo symbol that the person's wife explained that person had. So you could either guess either it's theirs or part of another symbol.
Can I infer from what's around me why they might be captured? Like, were they being used as weapons, or are they being smuggled out as some sort of rare creature?
Make me a perception check.
While Wyatt's doing that, can I go up to one of the boxes and pop it open, see what's inside?
Sure. Yeah, towards the back, there are some of these crates that are kind of like stacked up on top of each other. You can kind of make out, it looks like there is another exit or entrance to this cave behind these boxes. Arrow, what you find in the box that you opened up are a whole bunch of caltrops. They're like little spiky things that you would drop behind you if you're trying to like run away from somebody.
Oh, weird. Can I take like a handful of them and put them in my pocket?
Sure.
I'll say to the group, I'll say, hey, I found an exit or an entrance over here.
These boxes are full of these little spiky things.
Those are weird.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
I wonder if all of them are filled with these little spiky things. Can I try and open one of the boxes?
Sure. Like where Arrow was looking at the boxes, you open up one, and there are some like heavy sort of like rectangular prisms. Looks like they're made of metal.
What the heck are those?
Yeah, can I do like some sort of like insight check to find out what it is? Nature check if it's nature?
I'll let you do an investigation. Yeah, you've never seen anything like this, but towards the top, you would guess. So if you're looking at it, it's kind of longer on one side than the others. And on one of the small sides of it, you see these like two brass colored indents on it. And along the sides, you see these grooves. And it looks like this probably fits into something.
Like a key?
Yeah, sure. Or like a keystone or something like that.
Weird. Like what kind of material does it look like it's made out of? You said metal, but like...
It's all metal, yeah.
But is it like gold?
It doesn't look quite like gold, maybe like a brass or something.
Weird. I'll say, well, this one isn't filled with those tiny spiky things. These are filled with like pieces of metal.
Weird. I'm gonna take one of those too.
Okay, so do we have enough? Do we have enough information to go back to the noble?
Don't you want to see what's in that room back there?
Oh, well, yeah, we should probably check that out. All right, and I'll head over to the room and I'll gesture for everyone to follow me, or the passageway, not the room. We don't know if it's a room.
I mean, I'm following him there.
Yeah.
Can't do a whole lot of heavy lifting with crates, but
Are you moving the crates out of the way, or?
I will attempt to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty easy. There's only about like 8 or 9 of them stacked up here. But when you move the crates to the side, you see that there are a couple sconces here to light up what seems to be like a bigger room. And there's a desk here with some paper laid out, and you see more of the boxes that are opened up. Inside the box, it's like this weird contraption made of piping.
Can I go over to the desk and look at some of the papers, maybe see if I can figure out what this is used for?
Sure. Make me an investigation check.
Can I investigate the pipey thing?
Sure. Yeah, so Wyatt, you find it looks to be some plans and like flight paths. Essentially, it seems like the ship, the Skadi, was actually secretly being used by the Calidian resistance, and that the driver of it, Lasgar, was actually part of the Calidian resistance, while like his day job was collecting ice from this. It seems like he was also working with the Calidian resistance, and they were going to use the ice ship to intercept another ship. It looks like the name of it is the Eberron. So it looks like the flight path of the Skadi intercepts the Eberron on its way to the ice asteroid.
Okay, a little bit more information than we didn't know.
Yeah, this seems like some sort of weapon, but nothing that you've seen before. It does have looks like a small rectangular indent in it.
I'll take one of those too.
So this is pretty big. So it's about the same size as your sword.
I'll grab it. I'll hold on to it under my arm.
What shape were those prisms?
Rectangular.
Arrow.
What?
we won't figure it out.
Prisms that you grabbed.
What about it?
They're the same shape as the hole in the weapon you just picked up.
Do you want to try it?
Hey, you have both things. If you want me to,
No, but I mean, like, I don't know what this does. I don't know if it's a good idea to like try that in here.
I'll try it.
What if it explodes or something? What if it explodes and kills us all?
If it explodes, I'll take like a tiny bit of damage on my temporary hit points. It's fine.
All right, I'll hand you the weapon in this rectangular thing.
All right. I try to stick it in there. Does it fit?
It does, and you see a little light on the side, kind of like a strip, kind of goes from red to orange to green.
Didn't explode.
Is it doing anything?
It made like a high-pitched whine for a second.
I'm just gonna say it didn't explode and pass it over. I don't want it. I just wanted to put it in the hole.
I will take the thing back out of the hole if it's visible.
Yep, it comes out.
I'm gonna put it in my pocket.
I would just shake my head in disappointment.
I don't know what it does. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to work it. Maybe we can ask somebody else what this thing does. Maybe they would know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if this stuff is stolen or not, so maybe make sure you ask the right person.
I could arm it and then throw it at somebody and see what happens. What
Right.
shape is it? Is it like a circle shape or is it like a long thing? The pipey thing. Picturing just like a amalgamation of like tubing in a ball.
No, yeah, it's like a mixture of like rectangles and piping.
Is it like long or is it like
It's longer. There's a couple of like piping kind of like loops on like one side of it, and then one long pipe towards one end. The opposite end of the long pipe is kind of rectangular shapes all kind of mashed together.
Does it look anything similar to anything I've ever seen before?
Make me a wisdom check. It looks kind of similar. You feel like it'd be a stretch, but kind of similar to like a cannon.
I'm going to take the plans.
Okay.
Y'all think we should show the noble this? Maybe this might get us some information, or should we go?
Wasn't the noble just looking for what was wrong with the pipes?
Well, he also seemed pretty preoccupied with the Calidian resistance.
But are we necessarily sure that we want to help them against that? We don't really know who's like the good guy in this situation yet.
Right, that's what I was going to say. I mean, we could just take it into our own hands and go see what happened.
That's what I was
mean,
thinking.
we have the directions right here.
I don't know if we can leave yet.
Well, I've got plenty of money. We can leave whenever we want.
Why wouldn't you want to leave, Abby?
Because we owe money.
I don't want to come back when we do. I want to go home.
Well, I mean, this is all part of us trying to get home, Abby.
I know, but as soon as we get information to leave, we should just leave.
Well, we might have to go on an adventure in the ship to find that information.
I think we just need to venture into the noble's office.
If they can both give us the information, why not take the easier route?
Because I don't want to do something potentially bad. I don't want to harm any good people.
We killed an emperor and then absconded with the new empress for an indeterminate and at this point unlimited amount of time, and that should priority already.
Well, I'm not going to do anything to hurt any innocent people on this planet just because you guys want to take the easy way out. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it.
We seem to have split party. What about you, Shizeno? How do you feel about this situation?
I think we should just tell the noble and leave. We already have the information we need, or we're about to get it anyway.
So, Roxanne, you're a neutral party. How do you feel about this situation?
Neutral.
Objectively, does either plan make more sense?
I don't know. In my experience, the people who live in the castle aren't so great.
Yeah, but what about the Calidians?
I don't even know who they are.
Yeah, they suck.
How do you know?
Everyone says they suck. They're literally trying to take over planets. They sound like they suck.
The lady that we met seemed like a nice person.
I'm sure they're not going to be outwardly evil in your face.
Yeah, but nice is different than good.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, seems like we, most of our party wants to go to the noble, so...
I wonder if for most of them that would mean that you agree with us, right? Otherwise it's a tie.
This is a democracy, as I've said many times.
Only 60% of the population is voting. Sounds about right.
I am the moderator. I am the Greek chorus, okay? I am the narrator of this journey. It's my job to make sure things stay fair and neutral. Yeah. And I could care less. Honestly, I'm feeling the same way that our girl Roxanne is right now. So
else doesn't want to say it. It's good.
What?
We should go. No, it's fine.
What? What did you say?
It's all good.
I missed what you said.
I agree with you, Wyatt.
I'll say, all right, well, then let's head to the castle. And I'll start heading towards the castle with the map. There's nothing else in this room. Oh, wait, the room that we entered into only has one exit, right? The one we came into the room through?
There is a tunnel further back in the larger room that we were in.
I'll say, y'all want to check out this tunnel first, though?
Yes.
Sure.
Fine.
All right, so I'll head towards the tunnel.
Yeah, it seems like it goes on for a little bit, but it kind of slowly looks like it's slanting like upwards.
I will continue to follow.
Make me a wisdom check. You could guess that this seems like it's heading in the direction of underneath of the castle.
I will express that. I'll say, y'all, I think we're headed towards the castle. Should we keep going?
Maybe we should keep going and confirm that.
Y'all, what if the calidian resistance are the nobles?
Or maybe the nobles are running it.
Maybe the nobles are trying to take over worlds and are using the calidian resistance as a backing so that people don't hate the nobles. They hate this like underground society that doesn't even really exist. I don't know.
They're just digging a tunnel underneath the castle so they can break in underneath.
Yeah, so they could attack and then escape quickly and throw the caltrops to slow them down as they left.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I feel like every king that I've met so far has been evil. So
I mean, that guy looked kind of unsettling. I'm just going to say that.
The noble.
Yeah.
We're making a distinction between kings and queens and an empress, right?
Well, I mean, the noble family of Roxanne's sort of situation wasn't too great. The noble family of the place you kind of inherited, Shizeno, didn't seem very great. There seems to be kind of a pattern, if you ask me.
Shizeno was a pretender to the throne.
Yeah, it's true. He wasn't actually noble.
Well, I mean, whatever. Details, but anyway, let's keep going and find out what the heck this is all about.
He was technically a noble, but he just wasn't born into like the...
Yeah, he married in.
Yeah.
But it was matriarchal, and then he made it all about him by killing the women. So, not the best look.
So you continue a little bit further to what you think is like the part of the tunnel that is under the castle, but it looks like it kind of stops here. It goes upwards a little bit, and it looks like there's some wood here. It looks like the tunnel is unfinished.
Huh.
So maybe the Calidians were digging up underneath the castle to attack the nobles?
Yeah, I think the bird people were workers, less so weapons.
Well, then why were they in cages?
If they could dig through rock super easily, then they couldn't just dig their way out of this whole place. If you like kept them in a cage and kept an eye on them.
If they were workers, why would they put them in cages?
So that they could keep an eye on them without being attacked.
So that the calidians could keep an eye on these worker birds.
While
Like
they dug this
labor.
hole to the castle.
Not paid labor.
Yeah.
Ah, slaves. Gotcha. Y'all, we killed some slaves.
Well, they were attacked.
they were kind of mean. All right, well, this is more information I guess we can bring to the noble. This makes me think that the calidians are probably digging to the castle, not the castle digging to the calidians. So
Right.
yeah. All right, and I'll turn around and head back and start walking towards the noble's quarters.
If you guys are going to the castle, I'm going to go back to the bar because I don't want to be involved in this. Come
I'll
and get
say,
me when you're done.
Are you sure?
I thought you were making fun of us for running away.
Come and get me when you're done.
I'll say, all right. I mean, we'll make sure you come with us. Do you have any reason to not trust the noble?
No, but I don't have any reason to not trust either side. I don't have enough information to pick a side, and I don't want to.
Say, all right. Well, we'll let you know if we learn anything new, and I'll keep heading towards the noble's quarters.
On your way up, there's a part where it kind of splits off to the mid-level towards the buttered nut, continuing upwards towards the upper level.
I'm going to whisper to Shizeno since I'm a little grumpy with Arrow, but I obviously don't want anything bad to happen to her. My magic to just like communicate with people is also funky. Could you leave Kadama with her? Bring her to us in case anything bad happens?
Sure. Yeah, I'll have Kadama go sit with Arrow. She probably wouldn't like that I'm watching her. So I'll have Kadama watch from like a rafter or something.
Okay. Y'all split off. The main party is kind of like walking up some stairs. Arrow, once you reach this level, you notice that people are kind of giving you like a wide berth.
Am I carrying the weapon still? Is that
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, they're kind of like looking at that and like going, oh.
I'll just keep carrying it. I don't care.
Y'all make it to the front of the castle. There's two guards in front of there.
We're here to see Morgan Kulek. We have some information for him.
They speak into the wall, touching like the little stone that's sticking out. Let whoever's on the other end know that there's a party here for Morgan Kulek. A couple minutes goes by. Arrow, when you walk into the buttered nut, you see Aubrey waves you over.
That's where I was going anyway.
But they seem like they want you to make like no noise going over there. And they keep glancing over at a corner of the tavern.
I walk over there
To the corner of the tavern or to him?
to him, and I'm like sneaky, I guess.
Yeah, you're fine. You make it over there with no noise. Where'd you get that on your back, friend? You should probably put that away in here. And he nudges his head over, and you see in sort of the same outfitted like armor and spears as the people in front of the castle the last time you were there, having some drinks.
I'm gonna ask him. Actually, I was hoping you could tell me what this thing is.
He says, "Yeah, I could tell you. Let me see it. I'll put it behind here."
Hand it over.
So he puts it below the counter and says, "Oh, my friend, what can I get you to drink?"
I don't know. Whiskey?
All right. And he starts to pour you a drink.
I'll give him a gold.
Shizeno, are you looking through Kadama's eyes?
No, I was just gonna have him follow Arrow around. Then if we can't find Arrow, I'll look through his eyes later.
Okay.
Try to get an idea of where they are.
Yeah, so a few minutes passes and they say a voice comes through the stone and says, send them in. So y'all are inside of the castle in that same sort of front area where there's like the stairs and the two doors.
Okay.
Like a moment later, you see Morgan Kulek come out of the opposite door, and it looks like there was like a bunch of people in there. But he closes the big door behind him.
And it's standing in front of me.
Sort of. He's like there's like a little balcony thing.
Okay, well, I'll wave him down. I'll say, Morgan, I think we have some information for you.
He says, well, do tell.
So, 2 pieces of information. First one, we found out who is diverting your water source. And would you look at that? It is exactly who you think. It is the calidian resistance. And you know how I know that? Because they have a little situation over there. And we know that because we found some plans for their shenanigans.
He says, why don't you join me over here? And he motions back towards the room that you first met in.
And I will follow him.
All right. So you're in there with him. He closes the door behind.
I'll say, what's with the secrecy?
He says, it's just better to meet over here. I want to get all the details.
Okay. I don't know if you've seen, but there was a worker on a ship called Skadi that recently disappeared. And I think I know what might have happened to him, but I can only give you that information if you promise to help us get back to Taril in exchange.
Yes, I looked into your little issue there, and the only person that I talked to that knew anything of this Toril that you speak of is the elf on the Council of Captains.
Is that the same elf that we can talk to about restoring the natural water source?
Oh, I guess it is.
Huh. This elf seems to know a lot.
Well, when you've lived for hundreds of years, you kind of know a little bit more than most of the humans.
And what is this elf's name?
Tolosa Baniasar.
All right, and where can I find this Tolosa?
The Council of Captains, well, they live on the docks level. Sometimes they move around houses. I don't know if they have a common place they meet. We tend to not get along, the Council of Captains and the Noble Council. But, yeah.
I'll say, why's that?
They tend to not agree with our rules and laws, I guess. But we need the port open for us to go in and out as we please, so we have to come to some compromises sometimes.
Interesting. Is this Tolosa someone I shouldn't trust? Someone I should be wary of? Or
I mean, Council of Captains can be fair weather in their opinions, I guess.
Opinions of what?
Pretty much everything, but you said you had plans. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, so I feel bad handing this over. Well, when we were looking into that little hideout that the Calidian resistance seemed to have near the diversion of the... Yeah, so you remember how the water source, the water pressure for your gardens was low? We checked.
Yes, absolutely.
We checked to find out where the issue was, and we found that it was just being diverted into the streets of,
into the streets.
Into the streets.
Yeah.
But
a tunnel near a little encampment.
But we looked around and we found that there was a little hideout, and in that hideout we found this. And I'll take out the plans and I'll hand them over to Morgan.
Just a map. You don't see these every day. Interesting. And where did you say you found this?
In a hideout on the streets of the Rock and Brawl. If you follow this pipe, and I'll point to the pipe if it's visible. If you follow this pipe, you'll find where the water is being diverted. Right around that area is a small hideaway. There are also boxes or crates of supplies. We're not really sure what those supplies are, but there was one thing that looked like a little spiky ball. There were a few other things that might have been a key. What?
I think we would know what caltrops are.
Caltrops.
Yeah,
the spiky boys.
He says, one moment. And he speaks into like a little stone that he has in the shape of like what looks like lips, and he says, send me a few units in here. I need an escort for someone.
An escort?
Yes, I just need you to show some of the guards where you found this.
There's also going to be some bodies of some strange birdmen creatures. We believe we're digging a tunnel into this castle from underneath.
Well, that's not great.
Is the Eberron a ship that has come through before?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like a supply ship or a competing water company or anything like that they were trying to.
No, the only
competing
water that we have here is from the Skadi, but the ports are mostly controlled by the Council of Captains, so they would know more about that.
I guess we can show you where this hideout is then. But we are pretty close to the Council of Captains. They're right downstairs, right? So is it okay if we talk to them first and then show you where it is?
I think this is a pretty urgent matter.
All right, I guess. What's in it for us?
Well, like you said, I would give you the information that I did, and you would help me with this issue. The issue is not resolved.
All right. Lean back onto whatever wall is closest to me, and I will wait for our escorts.
He says, what are you doing? We're going right now.
Where are the escorts?
They're right outside.
I'll say, all right. And you're coming with us?
I have prior engagements.
All right. Well, may our paths cross again on good terms.
Yes. I mean, you're actively helping me with this, so.
All right. Well, put in a good word for us with your crew.
Will do.
All right. And I start walking out of the room.
Okay. And right outside, there's 4 of the guards.
I'll say, all right. y'all, let's get going. And I'll start like walking speedily, but also stomping my feet because I'm like, this is a lot of back and forth, blah 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 blah. So I'll start walking towards where we found the hideout.
Okay. Arrow, what are you doing at the bar there?
I'm going to ask Aubrey what that weapon is.
That, my friend, is a race-locked gun there. That's what the Scrow use.
Would I know what a gun is?
No, I don't think so.
What's a gun?
So it's kind of like a mini catapult, I guess, except this thing here shoots out some light, I guess.
Well, that sounds like magic.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically how it works, from my understanding. There's usually like a little packet of magical energy that's stored there, and yeah.
Would I know what the Scrow means? Who they are?
No.
You said who uses these?
The Scrow. They're like green and kind of tall, really super intelligent, usually bright red armor, kind of spiky armor. Did I say pointy ears? They're like a highly militant faction and race.
Do we like the Scrow?
Not usually. They tend to not, well, bother is probably not the right word. They tend to not cause too much trouble when they're here, but usually they're only here on business, and well, they don't tip, I'll tell you that.
Here's a question that's been burning in my mind. From the perspective of the common folk, who's the good guy, the Calidians or the nobles?
You mean the Calidian resistance? Because I mean, I'm a Calidian.
You know what I mean?
Well, me, I get, some sort of deals here and there. Some nobles come to my tavern. I got guards over there. They like the place. I get all sorts in here. So, it's tough for me to say. I don't like the trouble the Calidian resistance causes, but I can kind of understand their fight. They're estranged from their homeland. They got nowhere to essentially call their home, and they try to make the best of it. And the hand that they're dealt a lot of the times is not so great. On the other hand, the nobles are trying to provide water and the service to everybody, but you gotta employ people, and people want to get paid to do things, so that costs a little bit of money.
Are the Calidian resistance generally warmongering people, or are they like kind of keeping to themselves and mostly just trying to get by?
Well, the resistance does like to cause a little bit of trouble for the nobles, but that's mostly because they don't think that they should be under their rule, that everybody should kind of have an equal part in. They tend to smuggle in weapons, and sometimes they get caught, sometimes they don't, and when they don't, there's usually a little bit of trouble that happens.
Well, I mean, I kind of agree. You shouldn't really have to pay for water. You should just be able to walk over to a pond and get it if you want it.
Hey, yeah, I mean, that would help my business too.
Where I'm from, there's water all over the place. You don't have to pay nobles for it.
Oh yeah, I mean, Calidia was like a sprawling water world, so I can kind of understand their obsession with it.
Do you have anything that I could use to conceal this weapon?
I might have something. Yeah. He goes in the back. Hear him rummaging around a little bit. 2 quivers. And he kind of stuffs one end in one quiver and then covers the other end up with the other quiver. And then he says, "No, that's not going to work." And goes in the back. And he comes back out with it's like a loot case. And he puts it in there. Fits almost perfectly. He says, "I give you this. You ever figure out what's going on with that water? Because this is not working too well."
Yeah, there's like a hole in the pipe.
Ah, okay.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I got another question for you. I seen these really weird, like, bird creatures. When I was checking out the pipes, I described it to him. I'm like, "Do you know what that is?"
That's weird. Sounds like a Aarakocra, but with no, like, I don't know, like different and scary.
Are these Aarakocra usually, like, nice?
Yeah, they're usually just like, I don't know, regular.
Are they intelligent?
Yeah. They also don't seem to be the same, like, pattern that you're talking about. They're pretty much different all around, but similar.
Maybe somebody was, like, using some sort of mind control or something on them. Maybe they were sick with something.
Maybe. I mean, I did hear of the Calidian resistance does sometimes smuggle in some monsters and creatures and lets them loose to cause a little bit of havoc for the guards. So maybe it was that something like that. One time there was like what do you call it? Like a Zorn. It was like making tunnels and eating people's money.
Kind of funny. I don't know. Would you say, I guess they're not necessarily innocent, but would you say it's a good idea to crush the resistance?
No, my thinking has always been you cure something at the source. You know, the Calidian resistance wants a home for Calidians and they want access to resources. I say, why not just give it to them?
I agree with that.
Where worst case scenario, people have more, get a little less, but then everybody's got the same. So,
well, all right. Thanks for the info. I'll pound the rest of my drink and I'll take the thing back and put it back on my back. No, I guess I'll go wander around the town a little bit, see the sights.
So Wyatt and others, you make it back to the tunnel. The guards are like, all right, we got it from here.
All right, well, have fun. Hey, speaking of which, I'll bring them over to the bodies of the bird things that attacked us. I'll say, just so you know, this was self-defense. They attacked us first, but do you know who these people are or what they are?
People, these look like monsters to me. And one of them kind of like kickingly kind of nudges one of the dead bodies.
Have you ever seen these before?
No.
Yeah, it seems like from what we've gathered, they did well in the dark, which maybe lead me to believe that with those big claws, they're probably the ones who dug the tunnel to the castle further back. So they might have been diverting water to keep these things alive down here.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I'll say, oh yeah, one more thing. There is a tunnel that I believe leads to, it's unfinished, but I believe leads to under the castle if you go through this hallway. So that might be worth looking into.
All right, yeah, we'll take care of it.
Well, goodbye, boys. And I will start walking back towards the docks then.
Arrow, you walk past that person who was working for the Nomac Foundation, and they're like, "Oh, you've come by to donate again?"
No, sorry.
No.
I can't afford to lose any more blood right now.
Oh, you got plenty of it.
Yeah, so do you.
Okay, well, we'll just keep an eye out. You know, if you ever want to donate again.
Trust me, if I want to donate again, you'll be the first to know.
All right.
I'm gonna walk around and see if I can find some shops.
Yeah. There's a few.
Do I see anything that I think we might sell the lantern thing that we need for the ship, a docking thing?
You know that the person that you met at the docks mentioned that they were nearby at the docks.
What kind of shops do I see around?
Mostly food stuff. There are some things that are selling like basic weapons. Nothing that's too fancy.
Any armor related?
Surprising lack of armor things, actually. Most of them are it's clothing stuff, almost like knitted or woven.
I guess I'll head to the docks then.
Go to the docks, and do I see people walking around or nah?
Yeah, there's a few people. You see somebody who kind of looks like a blacksmith kind of walking around. You see off in the distance, looks like a ship is coming into dock. You see your ship off a ways. On the opposite end, make me a perception check. It's kind of far away. What looks like a creature similar to a statue that you once saw of a person with an octopus head.
Like the person from the dragon asteroid?
Not the statue.
Not the noseless person.
Right.
One that was being stabbed in the statue.
Yep.
I believe we've heard them referred to twice as illithids.
Yep.
Okay, found it. Okay, let's see. So illithids are the Githyanki's enemies. The illithids enslave Githyanki, so that's why they're kind of like enemies.
They formerly enslaved them for the most part.
Yeah. Does he seem like a cool dude?
He's just kind of chilling over there, just looking around.
Okay, the mom dragon liked the Githyanki, so illithids must not like dragons, maybe. I would love to talk to this illithid, but I'm going to go up to the blacksmith and ask, could you point me to the council of captains, please?
Maybe Torilia knows. She's over there, and that he points over to the person that you initially talked to when getting off of your ship.
Oh, she loves us. Okay, we've paid our debt, right? Is there anyone else who might know?
She's on the council of captains, so she would know where they meet. I see them walking around here sometimes, but Torilia is always out here.
We might not need to pay until we leave. If we're not leaving, then...
Yeah, but how likely is she going to give us information if we owe her a debt? I mean, how much was the debt? Do either of y'all remember? I remember it being like a pricey amount. It was like all of my savings, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that's not a lot.
Yeah. Valid. Okay. All right. I'll say, all right, I'll go talk to her. I'll go talk to Torellia, and I'll like begrudgingly stomp over to Torellia and I'll say, howdy, miss.
She goes, you again. And she looks over at Abby and she says, actually, I've been thinking about what you said, and you're right. If you didn't know about all the fees and stuff, I guess it doesn't make sense that you'd have to pay them. So consider yourself absolved of your, and then she puts in air quotes, imprisonment.
I'll say, hey, look at that. Good job, Abby. And I'll pat Abby on the back.
And then she says, I'm keeping an eye on you, to Wyatt.
Fair enough. But I'm wondering, I heard you were on the Council of Captains, and I'm actually looking to talk to Tolosa Benisar, one of our friends up in that castle over there. Morgan has
friend,
told us that well, not friends. I don't know what to think of him. He's kind of spooky, isn't he?
Yeah.
He had us look into something, and in return, we got the information that this other person we're now looking for might be able to help us get home and out of your hair.
You thought my dock fees are bad, now you're indebted to nobles.
Well, actually, we paid our debt to the nobles. The nobles were indebted to us, and now we ended up here.
Well, maybe.
Hey, I can always ask Tolosa this, but what's the beef between you and the nobles? I know that there is some, but Morgan wouldn't tell us very much.
Oh, they just, we're in charge of the ports, and they don't like kind of the rules that we put in place here. But they also, they would have no idea how to run the ports and keep ships repaired and deal with the oxygen that they breathe, that they just kind of waste away out there. So
I'll lower my voice and I'll kind of put my hand up to my mouth and I'll say, in my experience, most of the nobles I've encountered have been not so savory people. You know what I mean?
I do.
Anyway, where can I find Tolosa?
Yeah, these days he doesn't really leave his home. We usually will consult him on, what happens or what we've decided afterwards. He's, I'll just say the Elven army doesn't have the greatest care for their veterans.
Jeez, that's unfortunate. We do need to talk to him though in person. I think he's probably the only person we can talk to in order to get home to Toril.
Why is that?
It seems like no one else on the Rock of Brawl knows anything about how to get back to Toril. And the noble, that was the information that we exchanged. We did a favor for them, and they told us that Tolosa is the only person that might be able to help us here.
Oh, he's pretty old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can bring you to their house.
I appreciate it. Your efforts will not be forgotten. If I can repay you in any small way, I will in the future.
Yeah, so she brings you down to like one of the corners of the docks, and there's all of the houses are sort of like embedded into the asteroid. So it's kind of in line with like other like buildings and shops and stuff.
On our way over, once we're like more away from any of these crowds and ships, I'm gonna quietly say, what do you know about a ship named Deberon?
I've never heard of that before.
Okay.
Can I roll insight to see if I think she's lying?
Sure. Yeah, she seems like she's telling the truth.
A ship that left your port may be on a direct course to intercept it. I'm not sure if that's something that tends to happen from ships that leave here.
I will be honest. There is a fair amount of piracy that goes on outside the spheres. Sometimes inside too. Just not here on the Rock and Brawl. We try to mitigate that.
It seems to be the missing ship that there's posters going around about.
Yeah, people are getting a little antsy about not having the easy access to water and having to give up some extra coin to the nobles.
Yeah, our little trip with the nobles was we found a pipe that was being tapped into to divert water, so they were getting pretty upset about that.
Yeah, I'd imagine they don't have enough for their pool or whatever.
Their garden this time.
Arrow, you see the party right outside a building that is next to the shop that sort of sells all these items.
I'm going to keep an eye on them, but I'm not going to go over there yet.
Torellia knocks on the door. You hear sort of like a crouchety voice say, "What? Who is it? And she leans backwards and she says, it might smell a little funky in there. That's from all the tressum that are in there. So everybody make me a nature check. Wyatt, you know that these are basically cats with wings.
Oh.
Like a minute goes by and then the door unlocks and you hear a voice says, "It's open. Don't let out the tressum."
I'll walk in and I'll say, howdy, sir.
You see this extremely long bearded elf. Sorry, the beard is long, not the elf. He's actually kind of short for what you've seen of elves. And most of the time you haven't seen a beard on an elf.
Yeah, facial hair on elves.
My name's Wyatt, and this is my crew.
What?
I'll say my name's Wyatt.
No, is that what you said? Your name is what?
Wyatt.
And
I know your name is Tolosa.
That's my name.
And this is Abby, and this is Shazeno, and then this is Roxanne. And usually we haven't...
What is that?
What is what?
You bringing creatures in my house.
What would you be referring to?
He points at Roxanne. She says, I could stay outside.
I'll say, this is not a creature, this is our friend, sir.
All right. He rubs his eyes and is like, oh, maybe I'm seeing weird.
Yeah, she's a person. I've never seen a cat with wings, but that's how I would best describe your, I assume, pets. But I don't know if that's offensive to say, and I probably wouldn't say it as to not offend because I don't know what it is.
Oh, these guys, if it weren't for them, I'd be living like a king. I always got to feed them, but I love them, so.
Aww. Can I pet one?
Sure. Well, don't pet Bitey over there. He points to an orange one. He says, yeah, he likes to bite.
I never would have guessed. So I'll stoop
Just
down.
like my cat.
I'll stoop down and pet one, and I'll say, so, Tolosa, sorry to bother you. I really appreciate you giving us audience, but we're actually from somewhere called Toril, and we're lost. Somehow ended up here.
You're Taurus?
Toril.
Oh.
And,
I remember Toril.
You've been to Toril?
Well, yeah. This Rockabrawl used to be one of the asteroids around Toril.
Huh.
So we've been to one of the other asteroids around Toril.
Mooney or something like that.
Well, we're actually looking for a way back to Toril, and I think you might be the only person on Rockabrawl that might be able to help us.
Well, I don't have a ship anymore.
We have a ship.
All right. Well, I don't know where Toril is anymore.
Do you have any idea how we might be able to find out where Toril is?
Somehow Rockabrawl came from wherever Toril was and floated through Phlogiston and ended up here in gray space.
Is Toril part of gray space as well?
I don't think so. I never heard of it being around here. It was a long time ago. Actually, it was about the same time the river stopped flowing. Rockabrawl sort of shifted around. Then you could see the phlogiston in the night sky. And then the river stopped flowing, and there was a long period of time. It was got a little dark here on the Rockabrawl. Used to be a lot more elves. That was invaded by a bunch of elves that weren't from where I was from. And then I joined their army. They had a whole bunch of supplies. Rockabrawl was drifting through the phlogiston, probably hundreds of years, and then somehow survived and ended up inside of the sphere of gray space. But that was hundreds of years ago.
Do you think that there's some kind of connection between the water on Rockabrawl and its movement?
Probably some sort of magical event happening.
100 years ago?
Hundreds of years ago.
How old is Shazeno?
184.
Okay. I'll turn to Abby and I'll say, Abby, have you ever heard about anything happening that would cause an asteroid to detach from Toril in the history of our planet?
Okay. Can I make a check?
Yeah. You know that there was a thing called the Sundering and the Second Sundering, and you know that the Sundering ended in the 1480s. It's about 1509, 1510 in your planet's time. So it would have been about 20-something years ago, about 30 years ago.
Yeah, I will mention that. That's also when the Latan disappeared.
Well, that's when it came back. So the Sundering ended, basically like the effects of the magic loss came back.
Gotcha. Yeah, I will mention that to Wyatt. I like, places that disappeared, reappeared, and places disappeared in the first place. For us, relatively, a little older than me.
You also know that a similar thing happened like thousands of years ago, like tens of thousands of years ago.
Do we know what caused it?
Make me a religion check.
Me?
No, Abby. You're not sure, but you think it has something to do with gods fighting.
Yeah, I'll mention that.
What can we kind of deduce from this? How much do you know about the water source that exists on Rockabral? Like, do you know if there's any way to restart it? If you had to guess?
I mean, it happened around the same time Rockabral moved, so maybe it was Rockabral's location or some sort of magic that was in place.
Do you know if there's any way that anything on Rockabral tracked the journey from Toril to wherever it is now?
Yeah. The only thing I ever heard of tracking things is those dang xenophobic jerks, the beholders.
Yeah, we don't want to really work with the beholders either.
For a long time they didn't want to work with each other, but seemed like they got over their xenophobia of each other and then sort of focused it outward towards everybody else.
Yeah, almost worse. I'll turn to my my team and I'll say, what do y'all think?
Usually there's ways, like with teleportation circles, it would be runes. But I know that being able to travel through the different planes of existence, I've read that you would need something from there, I think. So if this rock, this whole place came from around Toril, there could be something on here or in here that we could maybe use to track it, find it again, get back to it somehow. But I don't know anything about that exact kind of magic. So that's the only thing in the back of my head. But I have no idea how to access that sort of thing.
Telosa, do you know if anybody around here might know anything about teleportation?
Well, most of the nobles do a bunch of magic, but my magic days are pretty much over. Every time I try to do something, it's just a little spurt comes out.
I guess I have one more question. Do you know anything about a ship called the Eberron?
It does sound familiar. Yeah, he's in deep thought, searching his thoughts.
Of course.
100 years of history in his brain.
Nope, never heard of it.
You know anybody who might?
Ships? Probably Council of Captains. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Do you have a ship specialist?
I used to be. Any elven ship, I could fly that sucker real well, but not these days. The mind is a little squirrely. But the other council members might be able to help you. Terilia, she's cool.
I don't think we already asked Terilia.
She's right here. Yeah, there you go. Ask her.
Oh my God. Terilia and I already discussed it. Unfortunately, we might still need some more information.
Well, I'll tell you all I know. I'm an open book. What information did you need?
I've heard that the Council of Captains is kind of at odds with the nobles. I hear that you two are diplomatic and work together, but what are the major points of contention between you two? Just out of curiosity.
No, it's taxes and freedom. Same problem that's always been around, right?
And what is the Council of Captains' stance on the calidian resistance? Just wondering.
Well, I don't know. They seem fine.
Okay.
But, you got to cause a little trouble to snooty people every once in a while. Putting them in their place. I think it's funny.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. Well, I think we've bothered you enough. I'll leave you to your cats with wings.
You want any sandwiches? I got some sandwiches in the back there.
Oh, yeah. Do y'all want sandwiches? And I'll turn to my crew.
Sure.
Yeah, we love some sandwiches.
Don't need it, but I should be polite, I guess. Does everyone else need?
Like a very dry peanut butter and jelly type of thing.
I am going to take a bite And pretend I like it even if I don't. Do I have to do a performance check?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, he's like, yeah, these are the good ones. They got little bits of crunchy stuff in it. It's not too great for my teeth, but yeah, it's good. Got to have a little crunch with your sandwich.
Very true. That's what I always say. Thank you so much. We'll be on our way. We'll stop and say hi once in a while to keep you company.
All right, and don't let the Tressum out.
You got it. I'll head towards the door, and I will be careful not to let the Tressum out.
Yeah. So, Arrow, you see them walk out of this building.
Could I have, while they were in there, headed to the lantern thing and gotten one?
Sure. They are 10 silver, it looks like.
Yeah, I'll buy one.
And as we're on the way out, like whatever the nearest surface to the door is, it's going to leave 1 gold to pay for our sandwiches. Because he was talking about how expensive the Tressum were, so I feel bad taking his food.
And then I guess I'll probably walk out around the same time that they're walking out of the...
Yeah, so you'll meet up essentially with Arrow. The doors are kind of close to each other, so you just kind of like look and like, oh. You see Kadama fly down from like a rafter down onto the ground in between both parties.
I got a lantern.
We have some more information and none of it's been helpful.
Oops.
That stinks.
That's not your fault. Just a lot of things that we could use this information to do something with, but none of us are sure what any of the next steps with it would be.
Well, at least nobody got hurt. I mean, maybe we should go check out where the ship was supposed to intercept the other ship.
Abby and Shizeno, make me a perception check. Abby and Wyatt, you notice that Arrow has looks like a loot case on their back.
Picking up a new instrument?
No. I'm not my mom. I've got this, that little weapon there.
A good disguise. Very clever.
Yeah, I found out about how it works and stuff.
They don't get caught with it because we turned the rest into the authorities. So you probably don't want to get perceived as one of the whatever they were.
Well, I definitely won't take it out while we're hanging around in public, but I am kind of curious to test it out.
Maybe soon enough. We found out that Rockabrawl used to be orbiting Toril. Do you believe that?
No, actually, I don't believe that at all. That sounds bizarre and false.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we've been to the asteroids that surround Toril, so it's not out of the ordinary, but apparently the water stopped at the same time that Rockabrawl started moving or moved away from Toril, so
how the heck would a whole planetoid get all the way over here, though?
It's like an asteroid.
Still.
You know, that part was not completely clear, so...
Weird. Who told you that?
Tolosa, on the Council of Captains.
Oh, yeah, the guy who you're supposed to talk to about the water.
Yes. He didn't really give us very useful information, but now we know that, at least.
This used to be nearby Toril hundreds of years ago. But...
Oh, that's bizarre.
He said that the council might know a little bit more about teleportation, which Abby said might have been the case. So maybe it makes sense to go talk to the nobles about teleportation, potentially.
We've been through portals to other, or seemingly other versions of our world. We've been to another asteroid that was orbiting our world through a portal. So if this came from our world at some point, there might be some link between the two still that we just don't know of. But I'm not that sort of wizard myself, so I'm not exactly sure where to even start with that type of magic. Why, did you tell us about the illithid?
Yeah, I'd say that if I saw the illithid, if I was the only one that saw it, I'd like nudge y'all and kind of gesture over to it, and I'll say like, that guy looks familiar. This was before we went to go see, obviously, Tolosa.
Yeah, now afterward they'd be like, the last time we saw a statue of one of those guys was on an asteroid floating above home, and we also found out that they were notorious longtime slavers, so I don't necessarily want to go up to them for information, but it seems like this could potentially be something that one of them may know something about.
I mean, there's a chance that they might want to know. We might be able to, I imagine they're probably not great fans of that red dragon that's helping out their mortal enemies, right?
Yeah.
So maybe in exchange for that information, they might be able to help us.
What do you mean?
Like, hey, if you know how to get back to Toril, we know a place where your enemies are hiding. I mean, that seems really sketchy and kind of immoral.
Yeah, to be like, hey, these people you used to enslave that broke free and are now potentially still fighting you, we can bring you to where some got separated.
Okay, yeah, bad idea. That's, now that I talk it through, probably not a great plan. Anybody else got better ideas?
I meant more so that they may know since they also seem to exist in both places, which I know there are humans and elves and stuff here too.
Do I know what the lifespan of an illithid is?
You wouldn't know.
But both Gith and Illithid seem to be pretty alien tutorial anyways, so they both may have come from somewhere else and know how to get to other places.
My only problem with this plan is if we approach this illithid, how do we explain to them why we approached them in the first place and thought that maybe they could help us? I don't want to be like, hey, we saw, your mortal enemies back where we live. You look cool. Let me ask you questions.
I'm sure. If they was less so formulating a plan around it and more so, those were the thoughts I was having after you pointed them out to us.
Well, why not just ask? If they seem defensive in any way, we can always just leave them alone, right? Who knows? They could be cool. So I will start heading towards the illithid.
Okay. When you get closer to them, they look in your direction, and you hear a voice in your head that says, "Oh, dearest friend, could you please help me?"
Wyatt or all of us?
I guess all of you, yeah.
I will look around.
I'm going to say, who's that?
It is I. And then
Who's I?
you see them wave their gross-looking hand.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. What do you need help with?
Some of my slaves have escaped, and, I'm not allowed to post anything about slaves on any bounty boards, so I have to talk directly into people's minds about this.
Yeah, I'm not going to help you with any slaves, sorry.
I'll say, yeah, I don't quite believe in the business of slaves. I'm sorry.
Please, I'm working on a really important project, and I need their help. But I call them slaves, but they all have agreed to work with me. But I just they seem to have been lost.
No, probably not. Not unless you're going to pay them.
I can pay. Well, they volunteered, but I could pay you each 1,000 gold.
How about you pay your slaves 1,000 gold each?
Well, they refused the money.
Find that hard to believe.
Are your slaves people?
But they're all humanoid.
Why would they refuse the money?
They just wanted to help out of the kindness of their heart.
I definitely find that hard to believe.
Why have you misplaced your slaves? Have they, by chance, tried to escape from your slavery?
I'm unsure. On Earth, I made a base in a cave, and they were helping me there, and I left for a little bit to gather more information and books. I came back, and they were gone.
You said Earth?
Oerth.
Never heard of that place.
Well, it's one of the planets in this sphere.
Do you know how to travel in and out of this sphere?
I do have my own ship, but I had to hitch a ride on somebody else's, trying to keep my ship hidden. People tend to attack it whenever they see it.
Do you believe your slaves are here?
No, I came here because it seemed like people who travel here have lots of resources, so they would be able to track them down.
Sounds like you came here looking for mercs to take your slaves back to you that have escaped from you.
Well, essentially, yes.
It doesn't really sound like the kind of thing that we do.
Okay. Well, if you know anybody who would do that, just let me know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to make the decision. You're the leader, Wyatt.
I agree with you, Arrow. This seems like the kind of business we probably shouldn't get caught up in.
Well, if you change your mind, I might be over here.
Have you ever heard of Toril in a different sphere?
No.
Thanks.
All right, well, see you around, I guess.
Yeah, waves.
Weird. Okay. I'll walk away, and I'll call the team into a huddle. All right, what do we do next?
I don't know.
Hey, if we think that the water potentially through magical means disappeared, that it's the Noble Council who tends to deal more with magic, we could bring them that information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like a messenger boy for these two councils. But yeah, it's worth a try. I guess I'll head back to the castle now, and I'll start stomping begrudgingly back to the castle this time.
Okay. Yeah, so 15, 20 minutes goes by. You are at the castle. There are 2 guards in front of the gates again.
Hey, remember us? We're Morgan's friend. We're here to see the council. I mean, the nobles.
You want Morgan or you want the nobles?
I mean, the bigger audience, better, I guess, in this case.
What's your name?
Wyatt Graves.
They talk into the thing and say, I got Wyatt Graves here for the Council of Nobles. A couple minutes goes by, and a voice comes over and says, seems like they're busy.
I'll turn to my group and I'll say, we could tell them about the dude looking for slaves here. They might be willing to hear that.
I mean, I feel like that'd be more so the dock. That was one of the first rules we heard on our way out.
Oh, by the way, I'm carrying around this lantern thing. Is it big?
It's like lantern sized. They say, clear the way. You heard like a voice come over the little stone thing, and about 16 guards come out of from the gates.
Oh, we could have just told them we have information about the water.
What's all the hustle and bustle about?
Let's see.
Yeah, I stand back.
They kind of go the way that you came in. Looks like they're heading down to the lower levels somewhere.
Like the whole council, or just these guards?
These 16 guards, yeah.
What's going on there?
I mean, they could be the cleanup crew.
What do you mean?
The like cache of supplies and everything we just told them about.
Ah, I gotcha. I'll turn to the guards and I'll say, tell the council that we have information about restoring the natural water source to Rockabrawl.
They relay that over the little message thing. A couple minutes goes by. Then another couple minutes goes by. Then you hear a voice. The guards say, all right, come with us.
All right, I'll follow.
They bring you to one of the walls near the entrance on the side of the doors there. They talk into like a little stone that they have. And then the wall opens up. There's a couple of guards on the other side there. And they say, all right, come with us.
All right, I follow.
Okay. Yep.
And so the four of them lead you down some like a stone spiral staircase into it looks like a stone rectangular room. There's some chairs here. Looks like there's only 4 chairs.
Just chairs, not people in them?
No, there's a table and 4 chairs. There is a metal door on the other side. You say, wait here.
Yeah, well, all right then.
The guards head up the stairs and they close a metal door behind you.
Hey.
I'll sit in one of the chairs just to see if it's comfy. Is it comfy?
No.
I'll stand back up.
I don't like this.
No, it feels like we're about to be interrogated.
Feels like we're about to be imprisoned. Something tells me that this council doesn't want the natural water source to be fixed. Just saying.
I think y'all are being paranoid. They might just be nice people.
An hour goes by.
An hour?
I mean, if that's how long you're waiting.
Okay. I mean, after an hour, I'll probably knock on the metal door and say and see what happens.
The sounds of your knock kind of echo up the stairs in this room.
Does it seem like there's any other direction to leave out of this room, or is it just that one door?
There's 2. There's a metal door on both sides of the room.
Can we see through either of them?
Nope.
Can I try the handle on the door that we were brought in through?
Sure. Seems like it's locked.
Can I try the handle on the other door?
Seems like it's open.
I open the door.
You see a long metal hallway.
The guard said to wait, but this door is open and there's a hallway on the other side of it.
Well, I mean, it's been an hour. Been waiting quite a while. Maybe we should do some snooping.
Do we really want to anger the nobles?
I mean, it's been an hour. Something tells me nobody's coming.
Maybe you're right.
I could send Kadama. Less likely to get caught.
Might be a good idea.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I'll send Kadama down the hallway then and look through his eyes.
About 35 feet, the hallway stops. And there's a wall there.
Oh, okay. There's just a wall at the end. It's not as long as I thought it was. Secret door, maybe?
There's just a wall.
It's the same metal texture that is on the other walls as well.
Have any sort of anything on it that might indicate it to be a door of sort?
You're looking through Kadama's eyes.
Yep.
Make me a investigation check at disadvantage. You're looking through his eyes, so I guess his. Yeah, you don't see anything.
I'll check it out. I'll go check it out.
All right, be careful.
Make me a dexterity saving throw. As you're walking on about halfway, you feel the floor start to drop out from under you. You're able to kind of jump backwards and catch your grip on the frame of the doorway. It looks like this. The floor of this metal hallway turns into some sort of chute.
Whoa. Can I look down?
Yep. You see about 120 feet down and it keeps going.
Wow. I almost just died.
Yep.
We could send Kadama down there now that it's open.
Kadama flies down 350 feet, opens up into a big, it looks like a metal box, and you see on the walls, it looks like there's some sort of mechanical contraption, and it looks like there's a little grate on the floor. There's a whole bunch of trash and wood and broken things down here.
A garbage chute.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it might just be a garbage chute.
They put us in a room attached to a garbage chute?
Yeah, I don't know what else was down there. There's stuff whirring around. I don't really understand what I'm looking at.
I don't know if there's really any way for us to get down there and come back up.
Well, are there any exits or anything down there at all?
Like the grate, is the grate look movable?
You're unsure.
It's hard to say. There's a grate down there that might be movable, but other than that, I don't see anything.
And even if we could get down there, it doesn't sound like there's anything down there.
Not that I can see.
Maybe we just wait. I mean, it seems like a waste of time, but what else can we do? The other door's locked.
Well, I do have this like mini catapult thing. I could try to blow the doorknob off.
I say we wait a little bit longer before we start blowing stuff up.
All right, you're the boss.
We're trying to ally ourselves with these people, so maybe we shouldn't anger them too quickly.
My gut's telling me that we're in prison right now. You're the
We can
boss.
break out if we have to.
At least we have chairs. Not very comfy chairs, but at least we have chairs.
I sit down on the floor and can I try to like look at the gun thing for a while to see if I can figure out exactly how it works and make sure I don't shoot myself with it if I ever try to use it?
Are you doing that while the rectangle is inside of it or not?
No, without the rectangle inside of it. I just like, like how I would if I was going to attune to something. Like just kind of while I'm sitting here, check it out and look at it.
Yeah, make me an Arcana check at disadvantage. You're not entirely sure how it works, but you think that putting the rectangle in it would give you a better understanding. Because basically, you fiddling around with it doesn't really do anything.
I guess I'll put the rectangle into it, keep looking at it.
Yeah, you start fiddling around with it, and it seems like the longer you hold, it looks like a trigger on it, it starts to make a high-pitched whine, and you keep like pressing it for longer and longer, and you feel like if you held the trigger long enough, it would something would happen.
Do I have an idea of what direction to point it?
It seemed like energy was flowing in the direction of the pipe end that comes out one end.
I'll put it away then if I feel like I figured out how to use it.
Make me a wisdom check. You remember Aubrey saying that like these weapons are supposed to be race locked to the scroll. So you're unsure if like something actually will happen if you held it long enough, but you didn't hold it long enough to actually find out yet.
Okay. You know what? Since there's a giant 200-foot deep hole, I guess I'll try firing it into the hole just to see if anything will happen.
Make sure Konama comes up first. I can't actually tell him to come up, but I assume he would after a bid.
Yeah, so you hold it for maybe like somewhere between 1 and 2 seconds, and like a short beam of light sort of shoots out the end of it, and you can see it kind of travel slower than light normally does, but pretty quick down into the hole, and it kind of lights up the area as it goes down. When it hits the floor down there, it chips away a little bit, and it looks like it heated up the area a little bit.
Be like, wow, that's like some crazy fire magic or something.
An extremely localized flame.
And you actually see the line that progressed from red to yellow to green when you put the rectangle in initially. It looks like it's slightly shorter.
So I figured I'll put it away then. I'm assuming that's like an ammo pack.
I would say so.
I should have grabbed more than one.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I'm going to go sit down in one of the chairs and put my feet up on the table irreverently.
Another hour goes by.
Can I take like a rest? Can I like tip my hat onto my head and like do a short rest?
Sure. Do you need to roll any hit die?
Yeah, technically.
Can I cure exhaustion through a short rest, or is that only long rest?
Only long rest. Is anybody doing anything in that hour?
I'll just lean up against the wall.
Getting more and more anxious.
Another hour
Visibly.
goes by.
All right, Wyatt, can I blow the door off yet?
It's been 3 hours now.
Feels like it.
I'm going to try banging on the door that we came in.
Echoes.
I'll say, hey, is anybody out there? As loud as I can.
Nobody responds.
Was there any corpses down there when Kadama was looking around?
No.
I don't know. I just get the feeling that this is like they put you in here and then you get curious and you fall down that hole and die because they make you sit in here for a long time. I really feel like we're in prison right now.
This doesn't look like prison, though. I don't know what's happening.
We're in a metal box with uncomfortable chairs and a locked door. This isn't prison?
Yeah, but then there's this other door that leads to a trash chute. Like, what would we be making trash with?
I have no idea. There's a lot of stuff on this planet that I don't understand.
There definitely wasn't another door or anything over there.
So the trash chute was near the middle of the hallway?
It's the whole hallway, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was the hallway.
It's like the whole frame of the door is made of the hallway.
Can I do like a insight check to see what my character might do?
Sure.
Okay. It's a nat 1, so.
Wyatt starts crying because he doesn't know what to do.
Oh no. Okay.
Our fearless leader.
True. His one mortal enemy is a locked room. The only thing that's ever made him break down and cry.
I'm gonna try to shoot the gun down the hallway, like straight down the hallway.
A bit of the metal sort of like deforms, and you can see that there's like stone behind this metal thing, and some of the metal heats up.
Does it look like it's just like a stone wall behind the metal, or?
Yeah.
No, so I thought maybe it was like another door or something. I wouldn't assume that goes anywhere.
No.
On your command, Wyatt, I'm going to shoot the door. So tell me when, because I'm getting kind of sick of being in this room.
All right.
Can we go through a fake wall to even get to the staircase?
Yeah, don't do it yet. What if the other end of that hallway is a fake wall?
I don't know. I can't get over there. I tried and I almost got killed.
It's also, if we get through the door and we go up the stairs, how do we get back through that wall?
That's true. I could punch it really hard.
Does anybody remember how they opened that wall?
Magic, I assume?
They didn't punch it.
Did they use some kind of stone to make that up?
They talked through a stone. It was one that they had like on their person. It wasn't like the entrance to the castle where it was embedded in the wall.
Can I like look under the table, or like can I do an investigation check of the table and the chairs to see if there's like a button or like a speaker system or something?
Sure. You don't find anything.
If I peer into the hallway, the whole thing is like completely just a hole now, right? There's no floor to stand in at all.
Well, there is. It's just at a 45-degree angle.
Okay, so I couldn't stand on that.
You could try.
Does it look like there's any buttons around?
Nope.
If I push on the floor, does it move?
Yeah, it goes down a little bit more.
Okay, so I definitely couldn't stand on it. I want to get to the end of that hallway, but I don't know how. If anybody has any ideas, I don't have any like magic or abilities or anything like that would help me move through the air.
Roxanne says, I could do this, and she throws her spear at the stone part that's revealed, and it kind of sticks in there, so you can hang on to that.
Is it long enough that I can get over there?
It's like 5 feet. You'd have to get a pretty good roll, and then
To jump all the way over there?
To jump all the way over there, and then also to grab it. Yeah.
Yeah, then how would I get back? I wouldn't.
Is Kadama able to get like underneath the ramp part at all and see if there's any kind of like mechanism to like reset it or like, lock it in place?
He can definitely fly down there.
Does he see anything like that?
There does seem to be some gears behind it.
Can you like take a closer look at the wall at the other end of the hallway? Maybe there's like a speaker system or something. I don't know.
Well, I can't. I want to, but I can't get over there.
Can Kadama?
He tried. Can you try taking another look now that there's like the hole in the wall and everything? See if there's anything else interesting.
He's just like kind of staring at the wall.
How many feet of rope do I have?
I think you had like 45 or close to 50.
Let's not cut it. Do you have anything that I can tie the rope to that I would be able to like lower myself down into the hole just a little bit, see if I can have a look?
How heavy is the table?
It's like,
Is the table connected to the floor?
no, it's like a regular wooden table, however much that weighs.
I thought it was metal. Okay. And maybe if I sat on it while you did it. Pretty sure with my armor and everything, I weigh like twice what you do, probably. So
I really don't want to die today. Not like this. I'm at a loss. I mostly just hit stuff good.
can I try to just smash the handle on the other door with my like the hilt of my Nagamaki?
Sure.
Just like slam it down.
Make me an attack roll.
Roll damage.
Yeah. It looks like you make a sizable dent in it, but it still seems pretty much in place.
And just look like if I give it another shot, it might come loose.
Looks like you'd probably have to make a whole bunch of tries.
And well, I'll keep whacking it.
Even if we get it open, I don't know how we get through the wall on the other side.
And we can get to the wall first. Better than staring at this door.
I'm going to poke my head down the big hole and yell, is there anybody down there?
Your voice echoes.
Smack it again with the hilt. That one.
You get a splinter for 4 damage.
Well, I don't feel it because I got 14 temporary hit points. It's fine. Falls right out.
And I'm shooting the door.
I'll move.
Yeah, clear out. I'll pull out the gun out of the loot case and shoot the door with it.
You miss the door and kind of hit the wall next to it. Do you want to stand closer to it?
Yeah, I guess so. Close enough that I feel like I won't get any splashback, but close enough that I feel like it's easier to hit than from wherever I was standing before.
Okay. Make me an attack roll. Okay. Yeah, so you hit it kind of square on the the handle. The handle kind of deforms, but it seems like it might be like stuck in place still.
How many charges does this thing look like it has left?
It looks like it's like less than a tenth of the way down.
No, so it's still got a good bit left in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll shoot the door again.
Yeah, you hit it kind of square on again. The door handle kind of falls off, and you see like a smoking little heated metal hole through it. And when the door handle falls, you hear an explosion come from down in the hole down the metal hallway.